And good morning, everybody, to the live audience. And if you're watching the recording, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever you're watching this. Thank you very much for spending time today. As Maury kindly introduced me to the live audience, my name is Shun Kobayashi. I'm manager for APAC Customer Success, Information Solutions, and eBooks. I'm joining this session online from Tokyo in Japan. That's where we are. That's where I am located. So, and, whether you are librarian, faculty, or students, I hope the session will be useful. But especially to the students, the set of things that I share with you today are things that I really wish I had studied when I was still a university student 20 years ago. It's really, really useful, and I hope you find it useful as well. Okay, so let me share my screen, please. Okie dokie. So today is about ProQuest. You have a great number of electronic resources available for you as a student, as a faculty, as a librarian, as a staff. So, and ProQuest is just one of them. However, it is also a pretty large collection of contents. So I hope this will be one of the go-to databases when you begin your research or learning, because we believe it has a lot of useful contents for you. And today it's a little more about the advanced session on search. These days, the database interfaces, library databases must come with intuitive interfaces, right? So especially for students, by the time you're born, like iPhone was already there, maybe Google search was there. Now it's ChatGPT, DeepSeek. All these things are pretty easy to use. So many of the publishers and vendors like ProQuest and CLARIVATE, we try to make our interfaces as intuitive as possible. So by simple keyword search, or some of the tools now have a chat feature like ChatGPT, you can perhaps do a simple search. But more advanced techniques will actually help you get to the more relevant contents quickly. I know, for example, like you can find articles that are less than, say, 250 words, for example. I mean, that would be very useful for faculty members to, I don't know, recommend to your students, like, hey, this is a short newspaper, especially foreign students. Like I used to be a foreign student in the UK. So, and such people have to start learning English with relatively short English contents, right? So you can do something like that, and I'll show that to you later. So these techniques will be very useful. I hope you make the most of it. So before I go to it, let me just quickly show you how to get to this database. I hope everybody is familiar with the library website by now, but just in case maybe you are a first year student, you're watching this. So just go to the library website, open the menu, and go to collections. And obviously your library has wonderful collections. And one set of collections are electronic resources, or we call e-resources. You just go click view pages. And because there are so many, they're organized by A to Z list, some Pathfinder subject guides that librarians tried their best to curate the content so that it becomes easy for you to access the information you need. But today is about ProQuest. So let's use our A to Z list. So just click P here, database series by title, click P. And just in this section for P, you have a great deal of databases, as you can see here. But let's find ProQuest using the browser's find feature. And ProQuest appears. So we do provide a number of solutions to your university. But today, specifically, we look at ProQuest Central or ProQuest Platform. ProQuest Central is actually one of the database available within ProQuest Platform, but this is the largest multidisciplinary database. So we're going to start from there. And then you click that. Obviously, I already opened it. So, but what happens is then you are asked to log in with your university credentials, with the ID and password. You should be able to access the e-resources, whether you are on campus environment or in the remote environment. So, during the winter, summer vacation, you can actually read the contents on ProQuest. We have not just scholarly journal contents, but we also have a lot of newspaper contents from the Wall Street Journal, contents from the Guardians, contents from the New York Times or the Economist magazine. Those are what we call gray literature, newspaper contents or trade publications. Such contents are actually available. So even when you're on vacation, you might want to read those contents, right? So in case you're paying for it by subscribing to those contents, you might as well just cancel it right away, because thanks to your library, those contents are freely available for you. So something good to know. So wherever you are, if you have the access to the internet, you can access a lot of electronic library contents, including ProQuest. So that's how you access the electronic resources. So this is a ProQuest, your university's version. At the top of the screen, you see Western Sydney University, your university's name. Please make sure you see that. I mean, if you log into this product through the method I just showed you from the library website using your credentials, then you should see it. But if you type ProQuest.com, you see a similar screen. This is a what we call open layer product or free version. So you can see like login through your library, right? So make sure you see your institution's name. This is the version that you're supposed to be using. The reason why we have this like having our client's name appearing in the product is because different university subscribes to or purchase different collections from us. So this is your university version. If you happen to move to another university for your master degree or PhD degree, maybe in the United States or in the UK, then you will see their version. You might use the National Library of Australia or public library. If it's a very large one, they may have access to ProQuest contents as well. But unless it's a national library, if it's a public library, the chances are the collections are much, much smaller than what you have here. So while you are at your Western Sydney University, please make the most of these contents. So this is what we call ProQuest platform. And you see you're searching 65 databases. So it's a large, what you saw earlier, ProQuest Central, dissertation theses, all these things are smaller collections that run or searched on this platform. And if you go to change databases here in the link or open the top left corner, open the menu, click change databases. I just open your version. And you see in Japanese because my browser setting by default is Japanese. So the language you see here depends on your browser setting. So let me change it to English, of course. But, you can change it to the Chinese, simplified, traditional, Korean, Arabic. You can change the language of the interfaces if you are an international student there. However, you cannot search with the Japanese characters or Korean characters, Hangul, or Chinese characters, unfortunately. You need to do the search with alphabet terms. So please know that. Some library vendors actually provide searches in different languages. So for example, our competitor EBSCO, you can do a subject search in Japanese or Chinese, etc. But we unfortunately don't have that. It's just that interface will look in the language. So please know that. And one more thing I'd like to say before I start the section is that the box here, this is a search box. So if you're an undergrad student, 18 years old, you just joined the university, this is not a chat box that that you use when you open ChatGPT, Gemini, or DeepSeek, those generative AI tools that are available. So almost all the major companies in this industry, academia industry, like CLARIVATE, Elsevier, EBSCO, Springer Nature, Taylor Francis, Wiley, these players are all developing AI tools. And one of the things I like to talk about today is actually that we do have an AI feature within ProQuest. However, the conversational search or you just type questions and sentences and ask AI to find things on behalf of you, that feature is not yet available on ProQuest. We are developing it, but also, even after we release it, your librarians, your university have to do the due diligence, make sure that it complies with the AI usage policies of your university. So, some universities may actually turn the feature off because of some concerns of the feature, but we are developing it. So this is a search box. That means you need to do a search with keywords and how to combine those keywords with operators or making the use of subject search, etc. These are the things that you have to kind of know. And you may find it, that's a little old thing. Well, you're quite right about it. It is a like one generation ago thing. However, a lot of librarian tools, like we also have already a chat feature called Research Assistant. This is for Web of Science Research Assistant. We have Research Assistant for ProQuest I'll talk about later. But we do have a Research Assistant in Web of Science. This is an add-on feature. It may not be available for you, but we're developing. But, this is a little different to ChatGPT. It is conversational. However, what we do is we basically our AI tries to understand your question and turn that into search strategies, into keywords, and they do the complex search on behalf of you and retrieve the answer for you, right? That's what it does. So yeah, it's actually good to know what's happening behind the scenes. So, and if you know it, and of course, AI isn't, what can I say? It cannot solve everything, right? As useful as it is. So it's actually good to know these techniques that I show you today. All right, so that was a long preface, but this is the topics that I covered today. So advanced search tips, combining filters, specific advanced search filters for databases, overview of Thesauri available, ProQuest Thesaurus, MeSH, sorry, I should have put 2025. I actually replaced the screenshot 2025, but the MeSH 2025 Thesaurus, that is from PubMed. I'll talk about it later. And how to combine and why you should combine Thesaurus sometimes. And then finally, ProQuest Research Assistant. I'll show you the AI feature. So as I was saying, like your university is subscribing to a large number of collections from us. You also have purchased some collections from us as well. So this is the list of contents available within this platform. You see a number of them. Now, at the platform level that you're seeing before, it cross-searches everything. All the questions you do the cross-search, especially at the initial level of research, or if the character of your research is multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, you might want to stay at the platform level. And also, since we have, I think many of your librarians already know this, but if you're a junior person, everyone starts their career sometime. You can actually, from like this is select databases, right? Change databases, and this is the page. If everything is selected, the platform cross-searches everything. But you can actually select which one you want to search, right? So if I just select these three, I'm not thinking about discipline here, just for the sake of exercise. You selected databases. It cross-searches only 3 databases that I selected earlier. So you can actually combine collections as it fits. So you can search everything. I think especially for undergrad students, especially when you're first year, second year, third year perhaps, it's fine. But then you might want to be more specific and you might want to combine these databases. And also, it kind of makes sense to visit these databases individually. What I mean by that, let me just open an advanced search. So this is what it looks like, right? It cross-searches everything. You see source type, document type, language, some filters there, but it's generic, if I may say. If I go to change databases tab, the same option as open menu, change databases. And then let's say I want to go ABI Inform collection. This is a very popular business database, one of the very popular ones. So this is the advanced search interface of ABI Inform collection. And you see different fields here. For example, NAICS code. This is a North American Industry Classification Scheme. It's a highly granular level industry classification that's available. That I know professionals use. I used to work for Reuters, so I used to serve investment bankers and people like that. And this was one of the industry classifications that they were using. So, as you can see, like food manufacturing, you can go further, right? More granular level, right? So this kind of filter is available if you are inside an individual database. So depending on the needs of your research or learning or teaching, uh, please just like think about, okay, does it make sense to cross-search everything? Or should I use some expert filters that's available within an individual database? Or maybe you just want to search certain collections only. Depending on that, please do so. So this is beyond the basic things that we do. And from the menu, you can click all databases and you're back to searching everything on the platform. All right, so it's a bit of a background thing. And as I was saying, because this is not a chat box, it is a search box. You need to search with keywords. And the question is how you combine these keywords so that your search strategy becomes more sophisticated, allows you to get to the more relevant contents that you need for your research, learning, and teaching. So you see like operators here or and parentheses here, like everybody has done mathematics, so it is a pretty simple mathematics things. It's an application of set theory, but I'll talk about that. Maybe some of you don't know this near feature. It's a proximity search terms that's available here. So I'll talk about that in the slides. So let me talk about phrase searching, right? So phrase searching, if you put, say, economic growth, two keywords, as they are, if you simply type in economic growth, then the database searches all contents that have both economic and growth. So it's actually an and search. It's probably easier to just show it to you, right? Economic growth. I know for some people this is super basic, but it's just, right? So 32 million. All contents must have economic and growth. But by putting them in phrases, you can do a phrase search. It always has to be economic growth. So maybe some content, see, you see a few numbers there in the results. It's not just economic here and growth there. It's always economic growth as one word, right? So this is a basic, pretty basic stuff. So normally with many library databases, and you can put and in the operator to create especially a sophisticated search strategy. But if it's a simple search like I've just done, you don't need to put it, right? You just recognize as an and search. Simple space kind of represents and. And not is A or B, food or nutrition. It gets both. Not is you want to exclude a certain contents with a certain keyword. So it's probably easier that if I show it to you, do I have it here? No. Just bear with me for a moment. I have it here. This is a lit guide, and I'll talk about it at the end of the session as a review. So search tips, right? I think you remember the set theories you learn. In Japan, we learn it I think it was in high school, bear with me. It was a long time ago when I was a high school student. But, set A, set B, right? And must have both. Or it can be either and not. You want to exclude a little bit, right? So this is the application of set theory. These are the operators. Yeah. And then wildcard character, question mark, basically, if you're not sure about spelling, you just put question mark and then it catches it, right? And you put multiple question marks if you like to. Truncation character, this is like, if I put just farm, then it reads the contents with farm or farms only. But then by putting asterisk, well, farms, in this case, that's for ProQuest. Some database, it only retrieves contents with farm and farm only. But if you put asterisk at the end, basically it starts with farm. So it gets farms, farmer, farming, right? If you put asterisk after relationship, relational, it captures everything. That's truncation character asterisk. You know? And you see a lot of things, but, ProQuest, it doesn't recognize a phrase. Well, what can I say? Like a sentence question. Can you give me the most popular articles about the ethical uses of generative AI? You cannot ask questions like that. What ProQuest does, like if you type such question into search box of ProQuest, basically it tries to get the contents that has all the words within the question sentence you put there, right? What are the most, it must have what are the most, right? It tries to get the contents, everything there. So, and also it doesn't recognize the stop words. Stop words are like prepositions like in, at, before, after, or in the hat articles, right? Definitive articles, indefinite articles, like any, those things, some smart databases kind of exclude from the search, right? Obviously, AI tools exclude that, but ProQuest doesn't. So if you put cat in the hat, ProQuest will try to retrieve the results that have all cat and in and the and have those for 4 words. Those 4 words must be there in the content somewhere, whether it's in the catalog information or what we call metadata section or in the full text or abstract. So please know. And then the chemical terms, right? CH3, CH2, OH, you just type them and then the ProQuest will retrieve the contents right. And also ProQuest ignores diacritical marks. So like for Danish terms like this, or, some French words, etc., these are actually ignored. So almost like English alphabets that I recognize. But it actually captured the results. If you do, we do have some contents in Danish, in French, in Spanish, etc. So you just type in alphabet and it captures the contents. Okay, so there was a question like how to get to the main page of ProQuest. Yeah, A to B. I can only see. Okay. So thank you very much for that. Maybe you open ProQuest Central. So someone tried to open the database from A to Z list, and I was instructing. Oh, so you just have to open the menu and then go to all databases, right? If you are within a specific database, open the menu to see all databases, and then you get to the platform level. Or just click change databases from a individual database and select all of them, and it becomes that. Okay. So you only do phrase searching if you have more than one word in a phrase, e.g. economic growth. If you only have one word, you do use phrases symbols, e.g. economic. Thank you. Thank you for the additional text. Yes, that's right. All right, let me just go back to the slide. So parentheses, again, this is an application of, it's not even mathematics, perhaps it may be arithmetic level, but which one is fast? So which one's first? I was opening, let me just go to the different, that's right, yeah. So this is a good example, right? So the first one is conversational or generative, right? Conversational, what I want to do is conversational AI or generative AI here, right? Conversational or generative and AI. So these two words, either of these two words must come with AI. That's the set one. And then from that set, I want to exclude the bit company, OpenAI. Sorry, I'm talking about the field first, but this is a field for company. It's pretty simple, company. But title is TI. So different fields come with different codes, but the company OpenAI. So I want to exclude the bit OpenAI, So you can use these parentheses in order to decide which one needs to come first. So I thought I had more options open, but I'm sorry. I think because the session was expired, so I lost the page that I opened before. So let me just go back to the PowerPoint. And the word variants like color in the UK, it's in Australia. I think it could be dependent on the region where you are in Australia. COLOUR or COLOR. Either way is fine. But if you want to be specific about searching the contents with color in the UK spelling, COLOUR, then you put in phrase. Then it tries to capture exactly as it is. In this case, color UR at the end. And we also use a greater than, so here in the slide you see year. So the field code for year is YR, parentheses greater than 2005 here. And the application of it is the word count that I was talking about before. So where was it? See here. So WC is basically the field code for word count less than 300. And if I do a search like this, and maybe I can change source type to, well, by the way, you can do, like, if I do this, it searches all the contents type, but I can just open this all source types, and then where is the newspapers? There you go. Newspapers and search. Again, if you're a professor teaching international students, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, you can actually search shorter contents, right? So you can recommend your students, look, you might want to practice English reading by reading these smaller articles, stuff like that, or longer articles for that matter, because it's too easy, greater than maybe 500 words or something like that. So WC, parentheses, greater than or smaller than, in this case 300, also type, newspapers, and search. So it's good to know these field codes sometimes. Advanced search interface covers many of the fields, but say WC, I don't think WC is there actually in the advanced search. I'll show you what I'm doing. Oh, somehow newspaper field didn't work. I don't know why. Maybe because, greater. Yeah, I think greater than, well, no, smaller than. This is fine. Yeah, 293, right? So it's relatively short articles, less than 300 words, well, fewer than 300 words. You can see something like that. So it's pretty handy. So let me just go back to the slide again. And this operator, personally, I really like this operator. And many librarians know this. Some professors use this all the time. But the difference between, well, I think it's easier just to show what it does. Let me just go back to the main page. So maybe keyword A is economic growth, and I put innovation here. I don't have to have a capital letter. By the way, capital letter, small letter, it doesn't matter here. So, but operators, although ProQuest recognize operators in small letters as well, right? I put, to make it easy for everybody, I put in capital letters but you can put small letter and. Some databases recognize it as a keyword for search. It does recognize, like, it doesn't matter for this one. So it depends on the database. Anyway, so this is a simple answer to keyword A, economic growth, keyword B, innovation. I have 1.2 million results. That's way too many. Obviously, I can use these filters, but near / if I put near /5, so you see much fewer results, 1/10 of the results that you saw before, right? So what it does is basically, maybe I want to just put scholarly journals to make it easier. What is this? So basically, these two keywords come in the proximity of 5 words from each other. Specifically, for ProQuest, if you use this term, keyword B is the base, innovation. And then in the proximity of 5 words, either before or after innovation, you see economic growth. So in this case, in the title, right after innovation, you see economic growth, right? So in this case, maybe 2 words. Actually, it says technically it's 1 word, but like innovation driven. Innovation 2 words before economic growth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see what I mean? So in the proximity, 1, 2, fourth word after innovation, you see economic growth here. Third word, right? So this is proximity search. If you want to have it, it's instead of having a like before, after, if you want to have it fixed, you put pre, then always before keyword B, you see keyword A. So, and why is it useful? Well, because this kind of electronic journals, ebooks, electronic resources, databases, it indexes the full text of the contents, right? So we have, for example, dissertations. The typical average number of dissertations in the US is 200 words. We know it because we used to be the official offsite repository of dissertations approved in the American universities or universities in the US, assigned by the Library of Congress, right? National Library of the US. So we know how long the dissertations are. So, if you do a simple keyword and search, economic growth may appear in page 13 of 200-page dissertation, and innovation appear in 71 and 120 of dissertation. They are far apart from each other. But by using this proximity search, instead of reading the entire or checking the entire document, you can just go to page 71, the third paragraph, because these two words appear in that paragraph and you want to read just that area of 200 long document, right? So if you're a student, obviously it does help us to, broaden our knowledge, have a good structural, comprehensive understanding of topic by reading thoroughly one entire book or one entire dissertation, stuff like that. It always helps us. But we don't have time to read all the documents to do a literature review. So you can use this kind of techniques to identify within the document which part is the most relevant for you. You can quickly go there and just read it there. So, okay. So that's a proximity search. And by the way, it's in ProQuest, it's a pre and near. Some databases use before and after. Instead of near, it might use within. We have a database called Pivot. That's a funding information database. And that actually use W, So thank you. That was some people helping. Thank you, Maureen, for helping the audience in chat. So so just as please ask ChatGPT or Google it, by the way. Is proximity search available for this database I'm using? Or just contact the vendor support team. Hey guys, I'm using your Web of Science or ProQuest or Science Direct. Is proximity search available? Then the support team, yes sir, it's available. Thank you for contacting. It is available. Please just use within or before they get back to you with that. All right, so proximity. Yes.
Okay. Is 5 the largest proximity indicator? My understanding is she can make it any number.
That is correct. Yes, yes. Thank you, Maureen. I should have mentioned that. Yes, absolutely. I just pick 5. It can be 7, it can be 10, it can be 12. It's up to you. So, but obviously, if it's too large, and you kind of like, okay, it doesn't quite make sense anymore.
I don't think you would probably need to go over 5. Usually I use between 1 or 2, depending on my terms. So Sandy, depending on the terms that the alternative terms that you're wanting to find, you can basically calculate it from there. So if it's
Thank you.
generative AI, generative AI and something else, you would just focus on what are the alternatives that you want to find, and then you would figure out the number from there. But I generally don't go over 2.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that you find it useful, So I know, like Maureen and some professors, some librarians use this, and this is pretty popular. And many people actually don't know based on my experience, even like very sophisticated users in Australia, some of them don't know. So, and the other search fields like a title, if you want to see a specific word in title, then you can use that. But, like for these kind of things, actually, I was using like title Australia, for example. It's a typical one that I was having. CTI Australia asterisk. That includes Australia, Australians in the title. It's pretty simple. And if you want to build a sophisticated search strategy in one line, you might want to remember these things. But the reason why we have an advanced search interface is precisely because, like, for many people, you don't need to know all these fields, although knowing it again could be useful. But, like this is the advanced search interface. You can have as many as 10 lines here. And instead of, this is the way you can change the field anywhere. You can see in abstract. So the keyword must appear in abstract section, et cetera, et cetera. And you see, like, if you use AI tools, you may not be able to be as specific as it is, right? It tries to it does semantic search. They try to understand the intentions of what you're trying to do. And they do build a pretty sophisticated search strategy on behalf of you. But if you really want to be precise, I want to see this word in abstract section or in the keyword section, you know. So um, you just want to do this kind of thing. I'm typing in prompt, right? Yeah, yes.
Excuse me, Shun. Sorry, I just wanted to highlight to everyone. I'm I'm now going to post a link in the chat if people can grab it. It's a link to a document that gives you all of the different searching tip symbols across 9 different database platforms, and ProQuest is one of them. So it's a bit of a cheat sheet usually used by people that are doing systematic and complex reviews. So it will have what all the symbols are and give you an example of how to use each searching tip. So ProQuest will be in there. So I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. So I'll do that now. Thanks, Sean.
Uh, Thank you, Maureen. That's wonderful. So again, it's not just ProQuest you have look at, and if you want to do systematic review, just do a systematic review of all the contents available out there. So thank you, Maureen. That's wonderful. Yeah, if you have a great library and you get that kind of useful resources, additional resources, that's wonderful support. Thank you. So please make the most of it. Just let me go back to the slides. Sutherland Search, as I was talking about it, right? And I already showed this to you, at the platform level, you don't see NAICS code, right? Only by clicking ABI Informed Collection, that's a business specific data, you see that. The Vogue archive, for example, they have fashion item filter that's there. You need to select a specific database to see such filter. So again, open the menu, change databases, and visit, maybe like I can do dissertations and theses, like this one also has a filter like advisor filter, not for all dissertations we have this data, but especially the dissertations issued in the United States, we have advisor metadata. So you can see like, okay, under this professor, what kind his or her or their students, what kind of topics did they write about, or are they writing recently? You can see something like that as well. So like by visiting an individual database, you might see these special features, right? So please make the most of it. If you're a psychology student, APA, American Psychological Association series, APA, Psych Info, Psych articles, they have APA, thesaurus, index, all those things available for you. So please make the most of it. And similar to filters, not all expert filters or subject-specific filters become thesaurus. Thesaurus is more than a list of A to Z subject terms, like a subject search, right? So economic growth, keyword search, subject search, economic growth. So the documents are about economic growth. It just doesn't appear somewhere in the content. It could be about, I don't know, innovation, but he talks about economic growth a little bit. But if it's the main subject of the document, if you do a subject search, the document is about economic growth. That's the difference between subject search and the keyword search. And then some subject terms are organized as a dictionary of thesaurus. I'm sure many of you have referred to thesaurus dictionary before, maybe online, or in my generation was still paper. Instead of using argue all the time, you might want to use claim, insist, insert. You can use different terms, right? You look up thesaurus dictionary. So the library databases, some of them have, or many of them have, what we call thesaurus. And it is a dictionary of subject terms. That's the important thing compared to the general thesaurus dictionary. So, and this is the list of thesauri or thesauruses that are available within ProQuest. You might want to visit this because it's pretty handy. So, and I want to use MeSH as an example here. So MeSH, if you know, it is originally from PubMed. And if you are life science students or medical students or even psychologists, you probably know PubMed, right? So it's one of the most popular database of medical research or life science research, right? Organized by National Library of Medicine, which is part of the Department of Health in the United States. Globally popular. It's very popular even in Japan where I am. So all the doctors are kind of like use this, right? And then PubMed, MeSH is like subject terms that are used in PubMed, right? And I want to use ADHD as an example. So ADHD, according to PubMed, is attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity, right? But it covers all the variations of ADHD that I put ADDH, attention deficit disorder, right? So all these like variations, like some people use ADHD, some people use ADDH, but and thesaurus comes with what we call control vocabulary, right? So these variations in the vocabulary or term is control, and it's organized by this one, attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. So it's pretty useful, and PubMed is open information source, right? It's freely available. There's a customized version, so definitely I recommend you use your university version because it comes with a link to the full text contents that are available because you are at Western Sydney University. But we also use the same MeSH subject terms. So with regards to the contents that are indexed within PubMed, right? And the good thing about ProQuest is that if the full text is available, and the full text when it's not open access public contents, it's paid version contents, like a lot of articles on the Lancet or the New England Journal of Medicine, for example. You can actually do a MeSH search using full text database like ProQuest and access to contents. So this is, in that sense, useful. So let me just go to advanced search. Oh, let me just open all databases. To open thesaurus, if the thesaurus is specific to a particular subject expert database, then you can open it from an individual database's advanced search interface. Right now, I'm on the advanced search of the platform level. And then I go to above the list of keyword boxes, I click thesaurus next to advanced search, click thesaurus, and you see list of thesaurus available. All these are subject-specific thesaurus except for ProQuest. ProQuest is the generic one. This is a thesaurus that we created and maintain, right, for the contents, and it applies to almost all, like most of the contents that are there inside ProQuest platform. So I'll show you why we use these two, because we want to use a combined version. ADHD, I selected MeSH 2025 thesaurus. Click ADHD. If you can use it as a subject term, you can tick the box and use it for your search. I couldn't do so because ADHD is actually control with a single term, attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. That is the term used within MeSH. And if I open this folder icon within MeSH, it actually shows the description, right? And the use term for, see, that you see the variations of the term, right? By clicking this filter icon, these are qualifiers or subheadings. Maybe it's easier to understand that way. So ADHD often search with classification or diagnosis or drug therapy. I'll use drug therapy as an example here, but you can do a search. And also, right now it's hierarchical view, right? So ADHD is under neurodevelopmental disorders, and neurodevelopmental disorders is under mental disorders, and psychiatry, psychology, and MeSH, right? So you can see hierarchy there. But you can change it to relational view, then it gives you relational terms for this. So both ways are useful. So, and let me just, here, I open the subheading and drug therapy. And after that, sorry, I just need to add to search. Right, and if I hit search, you get the results of contents that are indexed in PubMed, right? So 9,858 results. And when the full text is available, you see there, right? So there you go. But to be honest, this is my personal preference. Because ProQuest is an aggregation database, and as many librarians and professors know, aggregation database comes with embargo period for especially the natural science disciplines titles, like the New England Journal of Medicine has 3 months embargo period. You know, that's a long time in the medical studies. So you might just want to do a search on PubMed and then from the link, library link, you get to the full text. You must use the PubMed from the database list here in the library website. You have to use your institution's version, but you wanna do that. But so this is only contents available in PubMed. So as I said, like okay, scholarly journals mostly, but then partially trade journals, magazine reports there. But what I like to show you is that you can do another search with the ProQuest Thesaurus. That indexes almost everything within the collections that run on ProQuest platform. So let me clear form here.
So can I just, while you're doing that, Shun, can I just let everyone know I usually encounter this when I do systematic review training. People that will oftentimes have trouble with subject searching the thesaurus, don't touch the coding that the thesaurus builds. For example, where it says AD or attention deficit disorder, and it has talking marks around that or brackets or anything. Don't touch that, because the system uses that coding to search for subject headings. Doing the keyword search is different. You can play around with the phrase searching and add truncation, etc. But don't do that. Don't touch the coding with when you're doing the subject heading search. Thanks, Shun.
Thank you very much, Maureen, again. Yeah, it's always useful, you know, in your obviously it's come from the specific research context of the institution. So thank you so much for that. And then, well, I just opened ProQuest Thesaurus and ADHD. I'm conscious of time. Again, this is it's not the term we use within our ProQuest Thesaurus. You see, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is the one we use. And then if you click this folder icon, MeSH show the definition, but this one, it does show definition, but it also shows the related terms, right? So, and below you see broader terms. But you don't see a qualifier there or subheadings like you had with MeSH, right? Because this is a generic multidisciplinary dictionary. It's not just focused on medicine or life sciences, which is why we don't have that granular level of terms. So what we have to do is, if you use ProQuest Thesaurus, add the search, and then you put and, the coding, well, main subject in this case, and drug therapy. and do a search. This is what you have to do because we don't have a qualifier like MeSH with ProQuest. The reason why I'm showing this is because ProQuest subject terms indexes almost all the collections within ProQuest platform, as I was saying. So it's a different number, but you see more different kinds of contents, right? Like a newspaper's contents that the MeSH or PubMed doesn't deal with, right? Magazines, there's a trade publication contents, blog and podcasts and stuff like that. Conference proceedings, if it's covered in our platform, right? So if you want to kind of capture everything that's available within the database, as in ProQuest platform, sorry, you might want to actually combine these thesauri. So this is a ProQuest version. I click the second box in the search and the thesaurus. I go back to MeSH. And somehow, there you go. I search with ADHD. With MeSH, I can use this one, and I use the qualifier, subheading, drug therapy, and then I will add to just down there below, and I have there you go. Thank you. All right. And maybe you want to put or and, depends on what kind of things you want to do. So I put or to capture everything, right? The contents index in PubMed and the contents index in ProQuest, right? And you see larger number there. So you can do a search like this by combining these thesaurus. Okay. So in terms of search techniques, this is what I wanted to show you today. And sorry, I thought, and the refining results, I mean, I already showed you, right? So you can always refine search results using the filters display on the left-hand side, whether that's PubMed, ProQuest, Let's Go, Science Direct, whatever that is. So I thought your university turned on a research assistant. Maybe I was mistaken. So Maureen, like if it's not turned on in your institution, I rather not talk about this.
The research
Research assistant.
Is that request? No, there is a summarizing tool.
Yeah. So maybe, perhaps whether it's available for, as I use your, it is actually here.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do.
I'm glad. Maybe, because normally you should see, I need to do more simple search, I guess. So what we have, we use a generative AI tool.
If you could just pull up an article and just demonstrate the AI tool. Thank you.
Yeah. Somehow the AI the filters is not available. See, like I don't know why. Maybe there's something wrong with that system. So if you do a search, AI basically analyzes your keyword and in the context of which database you're opening. So before, maybe because I was in a platform level, that's probably it. Because I was at the platform level. So you see these suggested terms. So, and we don't use your queries or the user's queries to train our LLM. Please let me make that very, very clear. So we don't use your data, personal data. We use LLM to understand the context of the search to suggest these filters or terms that the people can add to refine their search result further. So this is what we do. Again, we don't use your queries to train our LLM. It's in a secure environment. And also, when you open the document, you see this key takeaway, key concepts, suggested research topics, these things. So this is not to replace students' learning. We don't intend to do that. We want to help students to see the document, whether it's relevant or not, quicker. So key takeaways precisely because of that. Key findings, that's based on the full text. So we use, again, full text contents, but again, it's in the secure environment. We don't pass this to the AI vendor because we want to protect the rights of the publishers as well. So it's in the secure environment, please know. So if you open the document in the right-hand side, you see these research assistants. So for the Web of Science, we do have an add-on feature that allows conversational kind of like exchanges between the user and the AI assistant. But we don't have that in ProQuest. It is to help user refine their search results further with the suggested terms and help them better engage with the document to see if the document is relevant or not quicker by showing this key takeaway, suggested terms, and all these things. So it is available, and the findings conclusion based on the contents. We try to show like what's the findings and conclusions of this document. So we use that.
Excuse me, Shun. It's just to give 2 questions. Emily asks, how do we access this? I'm thinking that she's referring to the AI tool. You'll actually, Emily, you'll see the AI tool when you open up an article, just like Shun is showing you now. So that's how you access it. Also, Ashley asks, from advanced search, the source within ProQuest Central is it defaults to the ProQuest thesaurus. How can we see the thesaurus list? So each database would have a different thesaurus. I'm understanding. Right. If you are doing a systematic review, folks, you search one database at a time because you need to do a gold standard search by doing a subject heading search. You can only do that one database at a time. So just choose one database to look at and then open up its thesaurus. So, but Shun, if you've got any other advice, please let us know.
Yes, I mean, just to, if you are inside ProQuest Central, you only see ProQuest thesaurus. So perhaps they open thesaurus and you see ProQuest thesaurus. However, if you go to all databases, open the menu, please, and all databases. This is the platform that cross-searches everything. Again, as Maureen was saying, depending on the situation, please, think about, should you actually consulting an individual subject-specific database for systematic review purpose, or you want to do cross-search all the collections because, I just want to see what's available out there, in ProQuest. You might want to do something like that, right? So, if you are in the individual database, you see ProQuest Central in the top left corner, right? You see a specific database name. That's true whether it's ABI or DNSA or whatever. But if you go to all databases, you don't see name of the specific database anymore. You just see ProQuest there. And from the ProQuest platform advanced search, by clicking thesaurus next to advanced search heading, you see the list of thesauruses. But please remember, just like I showed you with MeSH, if I use ERIC, that's again another database for education provided by the U.S. Department of Education. Like MeSH, you can use ERIC to find full text contents within ProQuest. So if you use a subject term that you discover from ERIC thesaurus, it only returns the results that are indexed within the ERIC collection. Yeah. So yeah, you're on the platform level, but the results are all contents that are indexed in ERIC. So if you're going to do a generic search, like all the collections, I would say almost all, because there are exceptions, but vast majority of our databases are indexed with ProQuest thesaurus, then you can do that, and subject search is useful. So I hope I answered your question, Ashley, but if not, please let me know. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think you solved the problem. Yeah, platform level. Yes, thank you. So that's one of the key takeaways. So platform level, individual database level, and in between you can select multiple databases to do a cross-search or particular collections that you selected. So that's one of the advanced feature.
Yes, thank you very much, Shun. Emily, was your question answered?
Sorry, yes, absolutely it was. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay. When you pull up an article, you'll just actually see the AI tool. Does anyone have any questions that they want to raise before we finish? No? Okay. Shun, I want to thank you for presenting to us today.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everybody.
And I also want to thank everyone who's taken time out of their busy day to join with us today.